Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Rob is now talking you through my drawing process of Sophie the dog. We've started with a very light outline. Now, the outline's been helped by using the grid method. It helps me get everything in the right place and to scale and make sure I don't get anything out of proportion. Once the outline's done, I start on shading, but what I've done with the outline is I've drawn all of those sort of defining areas and any high contrast areas, so I know where the darks and the lights stay separate. So you can see with the eye there, the iris has been kept free where the reflections sit, but the pupil is relatively dark, and then same with the eye line on the outside and the whiskery sort of eyebrows. And then I start moving on to shading, but it's not smooth shading. I'm trying to shade and add texture, because obviously there's short bristly fur textures that need to be seen and visible. So, and I'm building up in layers. You'll see me use a couple of different tools, obviously the different pencils. We've got a range of pencils from 3H all the way to an 8B, but we've also got the blending stumps you get seen thrown in, and a couple of paint brushes to help blend a slightly softer blend of the graphite. If you're not using those tools, then like with the blending stumps and brushes, I highly recommend trying them out. We do also have a Tombo eraser and a little Tihoo Electric eraser, which are really useful. You can see they've got really tiny rubber point ends, really good for getting those hair details that you want in. But the shading overall is done in layers, so I'm building it up. I'm working with the tones that are currently being added to the page, and I'm trying to level out the drawing. So as I go, I'm like, okay, this bit needs to be darker, so I go back and I build that bit up, and trying to balance it so that everything feels and looks right for the dog I'm drawing. And you can see with the ears, they've got quite a lot of sunlight on them, so they're really bright. So I'm leaving a lot of the paper showing for those, and I'm just trying to give the suggestion of the fur. I say this a lot. You don't have to draw every strand of fur. You want to just give the illusion. You want to let the viewer's mind see, make sense of the image. So you don't have to draw everything exactly. You just need to make sure that when people look at it, it triggers the identification of what it is. So that's the key to my drawings, I think. But with this drawing as well, it was a commission. The dog was initially wearing a collar. I think you can see it on the screen now. It had a big plastic chunky thing. We've taken that out because they didn't want that in the final image. So we've moved that out, and we're just working the fur in where that would be, and sort of guessing how that would look. The metal work itself for the chain I wanted to leave in because I thought that gave it a bit of character. I had some difficulty with it because it's so small, the actual drawing I'm working on. Trying to add those details in was tricky, so you'll see me go in and touch that up a few times. And it's just trying to balance the darks and the lights and make it not look too outlined, as it were. But also the focus of the image is Sophie's eyes and nose. So I haven't tried to overdo the fur from sort of the neck down. I want that to be soft and out of focus, because the bulk of the viewer's eye should be drawn to the center of the page, which is where the eyes and nose are. And you can also see now that we've sort of done all of our layers, we've brought in all that fur, and I'm now adding in some of those darker details just to make the hairs pop a little bit more. Also adding in some highlights with the rubber I saw there. And then as we get closer to the end, you'll see me adding these final details, which are the whiskers. And this was the most satisfying part of the drawing, but also the scariest part, because it's really hard to draw them and not draw them too thick, which can really ruin it. And then once we're done, we do a final bit of blending, sign it, and there she is. Thanks for watching.